Hello again everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Skyblock's latest update, 0.19.11. This one includes some pretty interesting new features, as well as some that were already shown on Alpha. My name is Derailious, welcome back to Skyblock News, and let's launch right into it. Starting off here, we're going to head over to Elizabeth, and more specifically, we're going to pick up more than a couple God Potions. You can now stack their duration by right-clicking on them as you normally would, and as you can see, you can go up quite a bit. However, there is a total maximum to the amount of time you can stack your God Potions. As you can see, if I eat too many of them, I can't actually go beyond 7 days worth of God Potions. This is pretty interesting. I like that there's a limit now. I think 7 days is more than long enough for most people to be totally fine with it. They've also stated, and by they I mean the admins, that they have reworked the system to make it so that basically you will no longer have your God Potions wiped, and I think that is fundamentally a good change if they're going to be making changes to God Potions. Heading over to the bartender, we can actually notice something pretty cool. The duration for the mix-ins has been multiplied by 3 because previously you would be able to brew them into up to 3 God Potions, so they obviously wanted to compensate for that. As you can see, you can just pick them up and eat them like you would anything else. You do need to have a booster cookie and a God Potion active for that, but that makes obvious sense. Heading over to the private island, something else that's pretty noticeable is that the God Potion doesn't actually lose duration while you're here. I think this is great for people who just want to build on their island. They no longer feel like they're wasting time or wasting their effort, and I think that this was a great change. Another pretty interesting and notable change is that most of the collection books have been removed, or rather all of them have. Instead of getting the, enchantment books from your collections themselves, you rather get an XP discount now, which I think is pretty interesting and probably more useful for the average player. There were also more than a few changes to items in this update. Notably, the Ender Bow can now be utilized like an Ender Pearl every 5 seconds, down from every 45 seconds. I think this is pretty cool. It allows it to have a more niche use, and I think people will generally like having this around in things like Kudra, for instance. In what is probably the greatest update we have ever received, there is now a bee pet next to bee. I know, incredible. Notably, there are also some smaller general changes. Heading over to the Bazaar, there are 2 new items here, the Poison Sample and also the Polar Void Book. As you can see, there's the Poison Sample, it's the thing dropped from Rain Slimes, and also if I head over to the Polar Void Book, you can see it's the item that when applied to a drill grants it 10 mining speed. I think this is pretty cool, good improvements here. There are also some new items in the game, notably the new recipe for an upgrade to the Bone Necklace, which requires Thorn Fragments. Also, Soul's Rebound, Venom's Touch, and Spider Queen's Stinger can now be converted to dungeon items using Spider Essence. The Void Sword can be converted to a dungeon item using Dragon Essence. There are 2 new tutorial commissions to the Dwarven Mines. Bubblegum now buffs all deployables instead of just power orbs, and also on top of that, enchanted crops can now be used to paste plots in the garden. This one's really nice. It's something that people have wanted for a long while now, myself included, and I'm really happy that they decided to add it. Also, if you have excess crops, obviously, they will be returned to your inventory, which makes sense. Overall, this update is pretty substantial considering that it's a pretty beefy quality of life update. There isn't really too much new stuff, rather polishing old systems and just making things in the game a little bit better for the average player. I like these kind of updates, but I really am hoping we see some more improvements to big game systems soon, and notably the addition of some new game systems. I'm really excited for the foraging update, for example, and we still have no idea when that's going to be out on Alpha or on Main, so hopefully it's soon. At the end of the day though, my name is Derailious, thank you so much for watching this video till the end, and look to the future fellas, because I will see you then.